Hey guys, good evening and welcome to another video. So today is the part 4 of the series I've been making, my life journey. Today I'll be talking about the difficulties I faced when I just got to the UK. So without wasting further time, let's dive right into the video. I got to the UK August 2023. And I entered the UK 1 month before the start of my studies. So I came to the UK as a student with a student visa. And the reason why I came earlier, it was because I wanted to understand the environment before the start of my studies. Because I've been watching YouTube and I've seen how people complain that they struggled in the UK for the first few months before actually settling down. So as a proactive guy, I said, okay, it's better for me to come early, at least a month before the start of my program, so that I can use that time to understand my environment, also use the opportunity to apply for a job so that I don't have to be looking for a job when my studies start, because I want to focus on my studies. And I came with the hope that at least within a month, I should be able to secure a job, because the money I came with was not very much. I think I came to the UK with about £2,500, which I was hoping that will serve me before I'll be able to secure my first job, which is my first part-time job, because I want to be working while studying. And with student visa, you're only allowed to work 20 hours per week. When I arrived, I stayed in an Airbnb where I paid about £750 for 2 weeks, because that was the only accommodation that was available. When I got to the UK, the first thing I wanted to do was to start applying for jobs. But you cannot start applying for jobs without putting the proper documentations in place. And I want to take this opportunity to thank my sister Ejita, because she was the one that walked me through everything I needed. How to open a bank account, how to apply for my national insurance, and some other things which she helped me to do. When I got to the UK, I opened a temporary bank account because my residency was not ready. My residency was with the school, and the school can only give you your residency card on the day of the enrollment, and the day of the enrollment was by September, which means that I have to wait till September to collect my BRP, which stands for Biometric Resident Permit. That is the permit you will need to apply for a job. During my visa application, I requested the biometric resident card to be sent to the school, and the school can only release a biometric resident card on the day of the enrollment. So I had to wait for the school to resume for me to collect my BRP, which means that the reason I came earlier to the UK has been defeated, because without the biometric resident permit, you won't be able to apply for a job. Without the biometric resident permit, you won't be able to get your national insurance. In fact, there are many things you will not be able to do without a biometric resident permit, such as opening a Main Street bank account. You can open a virtual account that is not like a bank account, but is a place you can put your money, but you can't open a proper bank account. Knowing that I couldn't get my resident permit until school resumption, I had no other option than to wait. Meaning I was not really doing anything in the UK. I could not apply for a job. I could not do anything because my card wasn't there. Which means that the reason I came to the UK earlier has been defeated, because I actually came so that I can put everything in place and apply for a job. But now there was no way I could do that because I have not gotten my biometric resident permit. So fast forward, when the school term started, I was able to get my biometric resident permit, which I used to apply for a bank account, and I got my national insurance as well. When those documents were ready, I started applying for jobs, but it didn't come as easy as I thought. I applied for warehouse position, I applied for customer service, I applied to banks, because before I got to the UK, they said banks are picking students. But most of the companies I applied to, they'll get back to me and said that they are looking for a full-time worker, that they don't need people with student visa. So this became my major challenge, but I didn't give up. I kept applying to different companies, but they were all full-time. It now dawned on me that it is not as easy as I thought, because I thought that when I get to the UK, I will just within a month or two, I should be able to get a job. But it took me approximately 3 months before I got my first temporary job with Indeed Flex. The job is basically picking shift, and the shift could be working in the supermarket, it could be working in the hotel as a porter, a dishwasher, and different kind of job. I remember when I got the job, every day I would just be looking at the app to see if I can pick any shift, and it's very competitive, because you are not the only one looking for shift. We have other people, especially students, that are sleeping on the app trying to get a shift. When a day passes without you working, you start having depression, because you know that at the end of the month you still have to pay your bills. This became a major problem for me, because I need a job with guaranteed hours. But for those type of jobs, they don't give to students, they only give to people with full-time working visa. I remember once sleeping under the bridge just for a 4-hour shift. The reason was the last bus was 11 o'clock, but this shift is 4 o'clock. And if I don't catch that bus, it means I have to take Uber. And Uber as a student was very expensive for me. It was just a 4-hour shift, which means that if I should take Uber, it means half of the money I'm going to make from that shift is gone. So to save money, because that week I've not gotten any shift, so to save money, I needed to take a bus. The bus is just £2, but with Uber you'll be spending maybe £20 or £25. So you can see the difference. So I was like, okay, let me just take the bus. Then when I take the bus, I'll wait somewhere in the bus station, and when I get to the bus station, I can stay there from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock, just relax, lay my head somewhere, and just go and take my shift from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So when I got to the bus station, unfortunately the bus station was closed. They don't open it 24 hours. So when the last bus arrived, they finally closed the bus station and they asked everybody to leave. So there was no place for me to even rest my head, and it was really cold. So I had no option than to look for somewhere that is a little bit warm. That was where I saw this bridge, and I slept under the bridge, and it was so inconvenient, but I had to lay my head under the bridge until 4 o'clock. I remember I'll be waking up every 30 minutes to check if it's 4 o'clock. It wasn't easy. So I was like, look at me. I left Dubai, a nice job in Dubai as telecommunication engineer, and I'm here in the UK now sleeping under a bridge just to go for a 4-hour shift. My brother, it's not easy. If somebody should tell you the challenges they face in life before they get to where they are, you will not believe. So that was the challenges I faced, and I went for the shift, finished the shift, and I went back to my accommodation, slept for a few hours, and I still had to go to class that same day. If you are coming to UK as a student, you need to be emotionally and mentally prepared, because it's not as easy as you think. But one thing I can promise you is that with time, before 3-4 months, you will be able to get to your feet. My dear, these were the struggles I passed through, and thank God I was able to go through them. God gave me the strength. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And I will say that persistence, resilience, and hard work pays. So no matter where you find yourself, don't give up, because those things that you're saying, those difficulties, those challenges that you are seeing, they are only temporary, just to test you and to build you up, to make you strong, so that when you get to your final destination and you look back to the things you've passed through, you will appreciate where you are. You will appreciate the blessings that God has given you. This is the end of this video. In my next video, I'll be talking about how I finally landed a telecommunication job in the UK immediately after graduation. If you like my video, don't just watch, follow, comment, share, and like.